Welcome to Key Conversations, where you get to connect with the best of the music business, unlocking the secrets to exploding your music career, presented by In the Key of Success. I'm your host, Cheryl B. Engelhardt. The conversations you're about to hear are between our special guest and participants of my MX4 course, the Marketing and Branding, Money-Making, Mentorship Mastermind for Musicians. They are singers, songwriters, composers, producers, and artists just like you, asking their burning questions of our experts while transforming their careers over 6 weeks. If you think this could be you, check out mx4course.com to schedule a free half-hour coaching call with me to see if we'd be a good fit. So, let's get started. We are talking with Andree Kaminsky of Singer Express, and we're going to continue our conversation from last week. So here we go.
I guess in getting your reel together, your singing reel. So you suggest that on the site that they have just a bunch of different. There's a bunch of different things that you can look at separately instead of just one continuous reel.
Yes, absolutely. When you join, you get a welcome email with very detailed what to do for best results with your membership. Most people don't read it and most people don't follow it, and that's to their own, that's a waste of their time and money in what they're doing. But we do give very, very detailed support on how to do it and why to do it. We also there's a sample singer page where you can sort of see it. But if we like to look at it as we would say most singers, and again, there are ways to design this for anyone, but most singers, generally speaking, we find 3 searchable vocal styles will really cover their particular styles. There are those singers that are incredibly versatile and they might have 5 or 6, but let's just take the basic average singer. So if your styles would be rock, pop, and R&B, okay, that would be very typical of a lot of singers, and that could probably sing in all those styles and have recorded demos, let's say, in all those styles. So if you have 3 minutes of vocal sample space, which is what comes with a basic package, and no demo should ever be more than 3 minutes, and probably a continuous one shouldn't be more than 2, because no one has time. We all have to remember, none of us have time. No one has time. So you want to get whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish done as quickly as possible. And it's amazing, like when we do castings, I'm embarrassed sometimes when people are observing and seeing how quickly we listen to something and make a decision. But you get to the point where A, you're able to do it, and B, you have to do it. If you can't, you're going to be in trouble. So if you take those 3 minutes that come with your searchable vocal, those 3 minutes that come with your basic package, and you divide that up, and this is very rough because it doesn't have to be exact, but as 6 30-second edits, okay? And then if you look at your rock sample, you might want to give a sample that's an up-tempo and one that's a ballad. Same thing for your pop. Same thing for your R&B. And one sample you might find, musically needs to be 45 seconds, but another one might be fine that's 20. So you sort of can average them out, and you have the total of 3 minutes. You have to musically figure out what sounds best with the fade in, fade out, or whatever. And it's actually about 29 seconds because there's buffering that happens. So that I would say, and then it's not included in a basic package. I think it's the discounted rate, I think, is $35 a year extra, and it is something I do strongly recommend. If you have a website, which I think you all need to have a website, add the link to your website, because then people who want more information and want to hear more can get, and they have access to it. They can stay on the booking central of Singer Express and open your page, your website in another window. And that's a great advantage. You can also purchase extra photos. There's no reason to unless you have a lot of extra money and your look is something particularly part of who you are and what you do. But otherwise, one photo is fine. But we have a lot of people who, like to make, I think you can put up to 4 and you can add them. I don't even know what they cost. You have to look on the website, but it's not something I recommend. You can add searchable vocal styles. You get 3, like I said, and you want to go for the more broad, basic ones. But they're really cheap. Do you know what they are, Cheryl? I can look it up.
I don't, and I think I did have some extra ones. I mean, it might have been $20 a year, and I added acapella, which was a cool one because I do a lot of vocal harmony stuff, and I think that's a really specific thing that someone would look for, and it's like my favorite thing to do. So I want to make sure that that's available. I get the calls for that, and that was really important for me to have that as one of the options.
$10.
$10.
Okay, so Okay, so my office manager is saying that they are $10 per style that you would want to add. So you get 3 with your package. So if you have the extra money and you can afford to do it, that sling I highly recommend because it's the most widely used search part of our site that's people searching. So, you might like whistling is a great one. That's a very special talent. Someone's going to have that. You definitely want to do it. But if you're a country singer, you might want to also have folk, so you can look at those styles. First, you just sign up and you get to using it. And then you can sort of see what you want to add. There's also, you can add accents. If you do an authentic accent, do it. Languages, if you speak another language natively, fluently, add it. If you can sing opera in Italian, don't put it there because that's just not going to be what people want. And that you can put in your bio. The bio on our site is also very, very short and small. Oh, you know what, Scott? I wanted to tell you this before, and I lost the train of thought. So when you're creating your page and you're saying you don't have any accolades to put up on the site, I don't think people are really that interested in accolades. It's a great way to get your foot in the door if you don't have something else going on. But really what they want to hear is what you do. And we've seen so many people who, again, don't read our suggestions where we say, keep it really short. It should 3 to 4 sentences should be your bio entry on the site. And it should be about you as a singer. Like we don't really want to hear all about your songwriting accolades or your this, or, there's so many different things that people put up there, but you have to remember this is someone who's coming in and looking for a singer, so they want to hear, hey, listen, my voice sounds really great when it's in the mid-range, and I love singing all the harmonies, and that's my favorite thing, and I perform best under these circumstances, and whatever it may be. It can be in the first person, it can be in the third person, but talk about authentically who you are as a singer, what you do well, what you like. You might want to mention that you're a violin player. You never know, so short, sweet, and I think all the stuff you were talking about, the window dressing, is really less important than who you are because there are places in this business where that stuff matters. But initially, to get your foot in the door, you got to be authentic as who you are.
And what, just to tap on top of that, putting out there what you know you're good at and what you love to do. And I also tell composers that work with me, when you put your composing reel, it's like, oh, I can compose jazz and I can also compose film score, orchestral. And I say, well, usually people want something specific and they're searching something specific. So it's not a bad thing to put yourself into a little box and be able to say what genre you are. And it's also not a bad thing to narrow it down to 3. And what are the 3 you really want to do? If you can sing jazz, but if your first gig is jazz and you're not comfortable with it and you're going to be nervous, if you really want to be doing pop, then make sure that your pop sample is killer and you're putting out there what you want, the gigs you want to be getting.
Well, and that's another good point, which is, let's say you sing jazz, but you've never performed it or never recorded it anyway. Do you want to choose that style without a sample? I'd say always go first for what you have something recorded. And again, if you don't have something professionally recorded, you can record something high quality on your iPhone a cappella where someone can hear you in that style. So if you're just starting out and you don't have the money to go record a demo, or get a karaoke track where Cheryl might be singing background vocals. And record yourself on that. Or if you play piano or guitar, you can just do a piano guitar little sample. It can be a Beatles song. It can be anything where someone's going to hear what your style is. But again, the key to the style that you choose for your searchable vocal styles, you should have a sample that matches that in some capacity.
Yeah, you guys, I have to say this. I've got this USB microphone. It's Apogee for a couple $100s. I recorded half of my new record's vocals on the road with this little guy. Do you see this is like less than the size of my hand? I have small hands. It plugs into your computer. You can open GarageBand and my mixer didn't even know. And he's a top-notch mixer that I was using a USB small home mic. So it's very possible to invest in this. And then when you have to do a demo or, do an audition to send to Singer Express, it's so easy to make it sound high quality, and studio quality is getting easier and easier and less expensive to do this independently, which I think is a real advantage. So that's my little Apogee is not paying me for that plug.
And more people are really, auditioning people remotely. Mm-hmm. And then if they need to, and then they choose to hire you or work with you, then they'll either find a studio where you are, or they'll fly you into wherever the location of the show is, if it's a live show or whatever it is.
Yep.
But that investment of a good quality mic that you can record yourself on, probably as important as a Singer Express membership. I think the two go hand in hand.
Yeah. I'll put a link to to this in the page
that'd
resources.
be great for people.
Yeah. And if you guys go to inthekeyofsuccess.com/resources, you'll see the links to all the cool deals you can get by listening to this podcast. And I'm going to put the discounts. There are 2 different awesome deals that Andree is offering you guys. Lauren, let's do one more question. I saw Lauren's hand pop up before we go into the deals. What's your question?
I wanted to know if is it better to use a song that's already popular or recorded, like well known, or does it matter if it's an original?
It's a good question. Yeah.
It's a really good question, and I don't think there's an either or answer. It's the one that you're going to perform the best, that's going to be the best quality. I think unlike, a show like American Idol or The Voice or different places like that where you're performing and you're trying to get people to pay attention to your voice, it's better to do a cover song so they're not trying, because they already know the song, so then they can really just focus on your voice. But in a case like this, you already got their attention. They're already looking for a singer, so they really want to hear the quality of your voice. So that's really the key, whatever you can do. So if you have a really well-recorded track of something that you can recreate, not something that someone spent 8 hours trying to make your vocal sound like that, but something that you really can quickly in tune and on time recreate of an original song, I think that's fine. And in a way, that's less of a distraction because they're just focusing on your voice and not comparing you to the person who did it. But I would say I've seen both, and I would say I would not recommend one over the other. You have to use what you have access to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great. Usually we do a couple rounds. There have been so many of you, and these have been great questions. Are there any other burning questions before I let Andree explain these 2 awesome deals? Anyone else? Alex on the phone there?
I just want to, can you elaborate a little? I'm sorry if I might have tuned out for just a second there, but can you elaborate a little on the samples? Like, do you have any advice on whether it should be a full band or if it should be more stripped down?
I like to say mix it up. If you have the option and you have both available, the more different ways you can show your vocal, the better. So if you have something where your voice is featured but it's with a full band, I think that's fine. If you have something that's stripped down with just you and your guitar, that's again a different feel. And I can sort of come down on both sides of the fence on this, Cheryl, where I really can argue both sides. So I would say split the difference. Declaring yourself the expert and saying, I'm a country singer and I'm country in New York is great. You market yourself, all of a sudden now you're known as the country singer and you're in New York, so they don't have to go to Nashville. I'm using some specific person as an example. That's great because you've got this niche. But this person also really sings rock really well, and now no one wants to call them for rock because they're the country singer. So I think with today's marketing and the way things are, you don't have to be completely in a one-road highway of a style. I think they can be related, like pop, rock, and R&B. I think they interrelate and they play together, so I think that's fine. I think trying to say that you can sing any style authentically and well, or all styles, there are a few people that we all know who can do that, and they should market and promote that. And if you're one of those people, you definitely want to market and promote it. But most people are not, so you really don't want to. And that's why we really limit the package, because we want to limit you from just saying I can do anything, because most people will just go to the maximum of what you offer them. So we really want to limit you and make you zone in. So yes, you want to zone in. But I think in terms of the type of styles that you're going to choose, and whether it's with a full band or whether it's a stripped down version, it really depends on the quality and where your best vocal is being delivered. It's really about us being able to hear your vocal quickly, in tune, and on time. And the other thing is being prepared. Here's a scenario where you get a casting notice from our company that says, hey, we're looking for a folk singer who can sing in this style, and it's going to be for a remake of this song, and it's a well-known song. You better have your mic right there, and actually, and then we'll say, tell us what to listen to on your singer page, or you can send us in a sample, or you can send us in a link to where we can hear you sing in that style or watch you perform in that style. So have your mic with you, and if you don't have a mic, then use your smartphone voice memo app and actually take that song, and if it's Love Me Do, record 30 seconds of Love Me Do in the style. Let's say they're saying Love Me Do as performed by, a country singer. So sing your country version, whether an a cappella is fine, and get it in that way. So I think be prepared to also, your singer page is not going to cover every opportunity. So be ready to either be able to send in something else if you have it, if you need it. Also be prepared that you upload any stuff that you have on something like a Vimeo or YouTube as a private link or some different places, because more and more our clients do not want us sending them a bunch of MP3 attachments when it's something specific. They actually want a link to where they can hear you perform. So you may perform your audition, then you need somewhere, you need to have the technology know how to upload it somewhere and send a link where someone can hear you doing that. Sometimes even on these auditions, that's going to be happening. So right now the auditionings, when they want you to hear slang, most people are still taking the attachments and we turn it into links for you, but there might be a point where that wouldn't happen.
Cool.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Any others? I love answering questions. That's the easiest way to get the message out there instead of me telling you stuff you don't want to hear.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Scott, unmute yourself. There you go. Good.
I just wanted to ask too, are impressions also open game? Like if you do a good impression of a character on TV or something like that, is that worth mentioning as well?
I would say put that in your bio. But I think, I do great impressions would be great. I don't even know if it's a style that we have, but I would say I would put that, because I would guess most people who are looking for someone who are impressions are going to do it through casting, so you'd get the opportunity then to respond to it. But if it's something you really do well, definitely mention it in your bio. Why not? Someone reading it, good to know.
Are the bios searchable?
They are not yet.
Got it. So that could be something that you could put on your website where that is searchable. And
Yes.
then through the website, they say, oh, okay, then you've got the Singer Express profile. So that could.
The reason it's not searchable really is because your Singer page is not public. It's only public to registered members. So because we really want to protect our members from being approached by people for wrong reasons. So we screen everyone that comes into your page has to be a registered member with a credit card. So, and we find amazingly, even if they only have to pay $1 to register, if they have to put their credit card on there, it just weeds out all the crazy weirdos, most of them anyway. But you always have to be prepared. We can't guarantee that be the case, but it is something to be aware of. So that's why it's not searchable, because it's technically not public.
That makes perfect sense. Chrysanthi, I see you had a question.
Yeah. As a violinist, I'm used to, in the instrumental world, most hiring being just through word of mouth and not through things like this. I'm wondering if there's a way to leave reviews for people, or to access testimonials or feedback from the people who have hired the singers.
So we do have a testimonial page about the company and how it works in general. In terms of having sort of a rating system and testimonials, it's a great question. You should join our advisory team, because those are things that we are all putting into play for phase 2. We're also going to add a scheduling element. But right now we are taking every single dollar that comes in towards marketing and promoting, because the first thing we want to do is to become the industry standard. But then we need to start, looking at, and then we'll go to our members, such as yourselves, and say, okay, what else do you want this to be for you? And we'll talk to our community, and then we'll start. But some of the ones that have been repeated over and over are a review process. The interesting thing is that we battle against, and I'm sure some of you are on both sides of the table, understand, is that the producers, which is, for lack of a better word, is anyone that hires talent, they don't want to be compelled to have to do anything. So we could ask them to report back, but they're mostly not going to. Mm-hmm. And we have to be careful that we don't tax them and become another, because then we have to make this as easy as possible. Otherwise, they're not going to utilize it, because they're so busy and they have so little time, and they don't have to. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones who have the projects, and there's tons of you that need the project. So it's kind of hard to get the feedback situation going in the way that we'd like. Hopefully, again, as we grow and the credibility grows, I think we'll be able to get people to be more willing to do that. But it is a little bit of a tricky situation because they want to work with you, see you, they're gone.
Yeah,
they're your best friend in the session, and the next day they're not.
That totally makes sense. Sometimes they're not your best friend in the session.
That's true too.
But yeah, you guys, really, really great questions. And I mean, in the MX4 course, we talk so much about building assets, the thing that you need to help sell whatever it is you're selling. And in this case, it's the service of singing or vocal work. So these 30-second samples are just in line with that asset creation. And the whole point of it is to make people not have to do work, not have to imagine, well, what would she sound like if it was stripped down? So yeah, having many, the different options and just giving people the idea of what you're capable of, the spectrum of work that you want to do and that you're capable of. It's exactly what we're talking about with, composing reels and live performance videos to give someone who might want to host a house concert an idea of who you are. So this is totally falls in line with, okay, here's another thing I need to create, and it's going to help me get that gig that is, going to make a difference for me ultimately in terms of my establishing this full musician career where I can pay my rent. And, this is another one of those hats to wear that really can provide you something. And it's so easy to do as a singer to sign up. And that leads perfectly into the two awesome, amazing discounts that Andree's going to offer you. So I'm going to let her explain it better so I don't mess up any links or what the deal is. So.
Well, I think Cheryl's actually going to post the links because I may mess them up too.
Yes, I am.
But I'll tell you what they are, which is for you or any of your friends who are singers, you can share this because if they use your name, you get free months for anyone else. So you guys are all now part of a network where anyone that you refer gets a free month of membership when they join. But the only way that can happen is if they or you notify us. So if you tell your friend Joanne Smith to join and you give her the link and the code, you want to compel her either to email us and say I was referred by Scott Tran, or you want to say, hey, I referred so and so. If they join, let me know. Because right now it's not an automated process. So that is something that is unique to any of you, which is the referral. So if you refer 12 singers, you're not paying anything for your membership. So that's a pretty nice opportunity for you to market and promote yourself and not have it cost anything, and to share something great with other people that you know. The first thing that I wanted to offer is a free trial membership. And I'm thinking about hesitating about offering these going forward, because what I found is when you offer something for free, people don't take advantage of it. And I find that they don't really customize their page, they don't check it out, they don't figure out how it works because it doesn't mean anything. But I haven't phased it out yet, and I did say that I was going to offer it to you guys, so I am going to offer it to you for anyone that wants it. But I would like to just caveat with take advantage of it and utilize it, because it will make your membership, if you choose to join down the road, much more valuable. And you'll have a much better idea of how to use it and get the most out of your membership. So to get that, you would go to singerexpress.com/free trial/ and then you would need a code, and the code for you will be all lowercase, M as in Mary, X, 4, free, FREE. So that's the free offer. And then our annual memberships start at $280 a year, and we want to offer all of you a link to get to the annual membership with a discount where it's only $99. And Cheryl will give you that link.
That's awesome. That's
probably too hard to.
Yeah. So again, intheKeyOfSuccess.com/resources. Both of these will just be an easy clickable link to go in there. And you guys, I would just do the free trial. It's 4 weeks of a free trial.
Cheryl, there's one other thing. There's one other thing I would tell you guys who joined joined and pay the $99. For any of you guys who join that, you also can email with your name and MX4, and you can get a free page consult. So once you get your page up there and you do it all, you'll actually schedule with one of our experts a time with us on the phone to review your page for free. So that's and that's really the biggest gift that we're giving you, because that's $199 value, and it's really, really helpful for certain people. So those are the offers. And go ahead, Cheryl. Sorry.
No, that's great. I mean, I'm such a on the phone person, and I got so much value out of that call. But I was going to say, do the free trial. You get 4 weeks. Just save yourself a month cost, and then just have the intention of getting the $99. I mean, just go right into it and just take advantage of having one of those months free. And then you get to extend your, it's like 13 months is your year then if you use that. So, yeah, I'm going to post those on inthekeyofsuccess.com/resources. And there's lots of other good fun stuff there. And
someone have a question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. We've got time for one more. Okay. Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead. There we go.
Is there a time limit on that promotion?
The free one that will go through the end of the year. That will expire at the end of the year. And the $99 one is also, I think it's due to expire December 15th. But we're going to try and extend that one as well.
That is good to know, because this podcast is scheduled to go up in January. So I might have to, we'll edit this.
No, we'll extend it.
Can also switch around my scheduling to get this out earlier, but that's good to know. Good question, Lauren. Thanks. Okay, this was way longer than I thought, but thank you all for being on this call and for your very varied and in-depth questions, and Andree for your time and insights. This is really exciting. I know this is an opportunity. I have made money doing this. This is tried, and this isn't just something that's out there and another needle in a haystack. It's something that when you work at it and you really set it up well, it will work for you. So I am very grateful that I got Andree to do this, because you're so busy and, making all these opportunities happen for singers like us. So thank you very much.
It was so nice to meet all of you, and I look forward to hearing you sing really soon.
Andree, just for the people on this call, this is not going to get I'm going to end, the recording's ended. If they have any questions, is there a way to reach out to you directly or through the website or anything?
Best to email my admin at Barbara at singerexpress.com. You can email me directly, but it's just the turnaround time, because then Barb will come to me, she'll find out what's going on, and I may just go, okay, let me take care of it and I'll answer you myself. But I think if you go through Barb, you just get a more timely response, especially at this time of the year.
Yeah, perfect. And that's not good. That email won't be on the podcast.
The other thing I wanted to say to any of you guys, specifically only the people on this call, and Cheryl, give me your names. If you would like a very quick short review of your vocal samples once you join, we could talk about that. We could, I would listen to those before our page consult or whatever and help you, because that's the key. Your vocal samples are key. So that's where you want your focus. You really, really want to work on that. And you don't want to wait till they're perfect. You want to get your page up, get something up there, and then make it better as time goes on.
That's so good I know we've got 1, 2, 3 perfectionists here on the call, I think. Yes.
Yeah. So it ends up being that, a year from now, you still don't have anything up there. Now you've had 100 page views and no one's heard your voice. So don't do that.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the week. What a great way to get started here. And I will send you all the links, and Andree, I'll send you everyone's name.
All right, next week we are going to talk with one of my longtime composing mentors, Emmy-winning composer Sean Callery. I'm still starstruck by him, so this is just going to be the most amazing episode. He is just such a gem in this creative world, so definitely stay tuned for next week. Please don't forget to rate and comment on iTunes and Stitcher Radio if you like this podcast. It's the best way to keep it going, get more subscribers, and continue to share this awesome information with the indie music community. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. All of the music on this podcast has been created by yours truly. The theme song is called Inevitably, written with Cameron Ernst and produced by Joey Ock. You can find all the songs, plus more information on my music career at CherylBE.com. If you want to be one of the reasons I can keep this podcast and my blog Living on Gigging going, then head to patreon.com/cbemusic. There, you can contribute $1, $2, $5 for the creation of each of these free musician resources. Together, we can keep them coming and inspire other creative people to do what they love and do it well. Again, that's patreon.com/cbemusic. Key Conversations is sponsored in part by Bandzoogle. They make it easy to build a beautiful website for your music. Their step-by-step system gets you online in minutes, and you can choose from hundreds of mobile-friendly themes and customize them with their easy point-and-click editor. All the features you could possibly imagine for a professional website are built in. So, because you are a Key Conversations podcast listener, you get a special 3-month free trial just for you. Go to www.inthekeyofsuccess.com/resources and click on the Bandzoogle logo to access your free extended trial.